Mary sits bare plants. There was once a girl. Her mother was focused on the dominant culture, entrenched in that infiltrated formed annals as a people. The mother's name was Karen. After 4 abortions before the age of 20, the Karen gave birth to a child and called her Squisha, refusing to use her name. The Karen was sedated for the delivery because her own feminine biospirit was partially erased in servitude, and she delivered by surgical delivery via cesarean section. The Karen eventually would reject the AC mandate and join her daughter, the Rose, in the commune of experience in wild herb ways. She would climb the cross as taught in the moradas, and through suffering bring back the runes of her people, so that they may live. At the time of her daughter's birth, the Karen was drenched in delusional infected meme pathogens that distorted her pristine duty to tribal us, we as a people. She wanted only to celebrate the antilife culture with another abortion sacrament. She had 4 abortion sacraments with hideous antilife markings on her abdomen. She lived in the panopticon, observed, watched, held hostage like a wild bear in a zoo. She wanted more. She felt compelled to live the fairytale fantasy of continuous economic growth and said over and over, "They keep watching, and they keep watching." Keep watching feels like the crowd is saying gimme, gimme, more, gimme, more, gimme, gimme, more, gimme, gimme, more, gimme, more, gimme, gimme, more. God though intervened and sent a biospirit savior, who led her to victory against all odds to birth. In the hospital, the father baptized the child with water, chrism, and salt in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. Rosemary. On the birth certificate, her father told the nurse the girl's name was Rosemary. Even within dominant culture annals, she was known as such. Later, this baptismal mark on her soul led her to earth juice living ice-cold water baptism time after time. She was named Rose. Rose not only as planned. Rose also as in Ross for the moorland marshes of Scotland. Ross for the High German Ross, horse. Throughout her life, the horse and game animals like moose, deer, elk, and antelope sacred to the Virgin Neanderthal Mary huntress would comfort her heart, leading her to theta clear victory strength. Rose, holy biospirit bioregional family plants of Raceaceae, and held sacred conjoined to the Neanderthal Virgin Mary, Mother of God and our Mother, who married the bear and was the mediatrix of all graces with Polaris and Ursa Major. Her father, while in the hospital, pointed to the north and made the sign of the cross. He said the victory song prayers of Dickey Betts. "You're my blue sky, you're my sunny day, Lord. You know it makes me sober high. When you turn your love my way, turn your love my way." Yet, sealing biospirit as peace pilgrims in the Nazarene vow of sobriety, the girl called herself Rosemary, and later, much later, she became Rosa, which she shortened to the Rose. She never used the name Squisha, and never understood why her mother, whom she called the Karen, named her Squisha. Later, when her deepest identity emerged spontaneously in biospirit, she honored her name, Rosa. All plants spoke to her like hawthorn. She gathered the bark of choke cherry and sour cherry, raspberry, blackberry, the rose hips of Nuka rose, woodsy wild rose. She grew up living deep in the fossil fuel nightmare AC mandate, even from the wall-gated, forced air-conditioned nightmare-sealed apartment near the suburban sprawl called Paradise City. She knew, Lord, I was born a rambling man, trying to make a living and doing the best I can. And when it's time for leaving, I hope you'll understand that I was born a rambling man. She played the drums, sang, played to the Virgin Mother Mary, who married the bear and lived sober high in the northern blue sky. Her arms entwined around her said the great bear. She played bass and guitar, and knew one day she would become a peace pilgrim, and she would play the songs of Wayne Allman, Barry Oakley, Richard Forrest Betts, understanding that in the avarice of spontaneous improvisation there were unquenchable biospirit songs. Songs one day she would perform not as entertainer but as participant in the ecstatic realization becoming of us, as a bioregional peace pilgrim people on Turtle Island. She understood Turtle Island as clockwise, 4 directions sunwise in the upper northeast right front foot Greenland, the lower right southeast right foot of the Turtle Florida East Caribbean, the lower southwest left foot of the Turtle the Gulf of California West and Baja California. In the northwest, the upper left front foot of the Turtle are the Aleutian Islands and Alaska. The Rose knew the Green Orchid Manifesto as love. She would live the ministry of peace with all things in common, of one accord. The bioregional biospirit high sober herbalism of Wild Earthways World Teacher Collective. Rose would gaze out the window facing north. She would look away from the blue glow box, out the sealed solid window, toward the mountains. The blue glow box covered an entire wall and had thunderous booming speakers that pumped mean pathogens into the air like a poison gas. She would look out the sealed window past the grass the color of emerald gangrene green. It was said Paradise City was where the grass is green and the girls are pretty. She would long for the mountains. At night she would wake up to dreams, sit up and dream it was dark. Seeing the mountains, she prepared to put on walking shoes and climb the mountain to see what she could see. Where she slept it never became dark because there were spotlights, garbled street lamps that made everything look weird yellow, the color of fear. They paved Paradise, put up a parking lot with a pink hotel, a boutique, and a swinging hotspot. She focused her mind in sobriety clarity, seeing the moon and stars hidden by the light noise that hid everything real, honest and true. She dreams that impossible dream, to reach that Polaris star, till united we are. She felt the mountains to the north deep inside her like a trembling hunger energy, that circled around her hips and thighs like a gurgling spring of living water. God had planted this spring, and written in her heart, the wild herb ways vitalist Christian in the 5 principles: love, sobriety, law, beauty, truth, as teaching learning, learning teaching, and is active on Turtle Island in the southwest paw of the turtle. She felt Turtle Island 2 inches below her umbilicus belly button as a clockwise turning wheel. She would turn the wheel with her hands in a circle over her abdomen in 4 directions: sunwise in the upper northeast right front foot Greenland, the lower right southeast right foot of the turtle Florida East Caribbean, the lower southwest left foot of the turtle the Gulf of California West and Baja California. In the northwest the upper left front foot of the turtle are the Aleutian Islands and Alaska. God had planted in her the salvation birthing children, as tabernacles that hovered in the blue sky high northern circling the holy star Polaris, in the constellation Ursa Major, and protected her from all harm. Just because you do not see the tabernacles doesn't mean they are not there. Walking mountains, flowing rivers, and walking people. Friends who create the nation in the celestial marriage peace pilgrim love family, riding bicycles, gathering herbs, every footstep a prayer. She used to play with dolls and prayed she had a child of her own, a baby child. What would please you most to get? A little baby doll that can cry, sleep, drink, and wet. The Karen would laugh at the Rose and pull the baby doll out of her hands, throwing it on the floor, kicking the doll like she once kicked her father, until her father was muted, bent, and defeated from everything for all time. She had a distant memory of a deep lowered male voice, maybe her father or boys. She wasn't sure. Maybe she was a man. Maybe it was her own voice. The Karen had taken the Rose to the media police surveillance squads of weaponized quasi-female psychopissip injectors. She was hoping to transition Squish to male and hoping they would start her on hormone blockers, deadly dangerous Dr. Mengele experimental medicine injections, sterilization, or at least a Depravera injection, some kind of permanent solution to the problem of love, children, family, beauty, and the real work. The Karen had tried poisoning the Rose with deadly addictive marijuana gummy bears she bought from the death criminal dealers who operated foul dispensaries. The Karen's plan was for the Rose to feed her the deadly pharmakeia biospirit poisons from 360-degree angles, poison from the infotainment television screen, poison dominant culture cinema, poison vaccines, poison injections, poison mind-numbing pharmaceuticals designed to injure Western biospirit, Adderall, amphetamine salts, antidepressants, hormone blockers so could fall into deep biospirit sleep, and one of the Karen's constant stream of boyfriend Johns, or perhaps a migrant would meet her on the street, launched from a government regime hotel, could providing the seeds so the Rose could maybe have her first abortion, rite of passage into the eternal final solution of Karen Dom. The Rose, though, threw up the deadly mind-numbing biospirit poison marijuana candy, sold by living biogenic pathogens masquerading in human body shadows, sowing continuous seeds of depression, despair, apology. She resisted the migrants lurking on street corners, the kebab shop psychiatrist, nurse, and counselors. She refused guilt, self-hate, and degeneracy. She had left the narrative of guilt and was proud of her own skin. She realized, according to the biospirit bioregional vitalist teachings of the small and large medicine deer at the deer house, that Valeriana was just an opening ceiling and many other ordinances and blessings would follow. Above all, she affirming us as a folk first, peace pilgrim bioregional vitalist people on southwest Paw Turtle Island was living the nation of place, maintaining the people through the plants. She became an us biospirit woman, using the power to convert our people back to themselves, for the kingdom, ascending the ladder to heaven. She was able to prove this message. She secretly wore the brown scapular. She attended the massive all-time of Christ Euro Patriot Lover. Before everything she prayed, she signed. She blessed everything and everyone in perfect love. She forgave but never forgot. She said the biospirit rosary to Mary and visualized the stars of the north turning in Polaris. She learned how to center her breath just below the umbilicus belly button in her body, which became the whole world. She turned the medicine wheel of unconditional love for us a people. She turned the wheel clockwise and counterclockwise. The rose could hear the sounds thunder and zigzag lightning when she longed for the mountains. The only thing she could remember of her father was a man crying, his arms wrapped around her mother, Karen's legs. Karen, her mother, was kicking him in the head, the ribs, his legs in the fetal position over and over, screaming, "Get out, get out." The Karen shouting at the man, with a gun in her hand, pointing a gun at his head. Karen then walked toward the open door. She stood in the doorway, grabbed the door handle and slammed the door into her face again and again till her face bled. Then she called 911 and reported she was assaulted. A police helicopter made slow circles around the apartment complex in Paradise City, shining a spotlight. Two obese women regime police officers, both with buzz cuts, took Mary's father away. The Rose of Mary, however, would meet her father and other bioregional vitalist herbalists whose lives revolved around teaching and learning the genius world teacher wilder ways. She discovered the safe houses which looked exactly any other house, yet inside were rows of tinctures, medicinal herbs, enormous materia medicus, beautiful women with children who made herbal medicines and live a life walking in balance. They met secretly in forest-filled grottos and sat with plants as taught by the genius world teachers who rode bicycles at 9 or 10,000 feet, while $75,000 pickup trucks drove by. Windows sealed, temperature climate controlled AC mandate boxes. Inside the boxes they dreamed of another vaccine, more dogs, another age-restricted walled gated community, more marijuana, more vicarious living, bigger wall-to-wall television screens. The Karen had been an abortion queen princess. She had listened to rap and hip-hop entertainment infotainment as implanted dogma that qualified every decision as feared out and self-hid according to the AI. She lived the AC mandate. She worshipped vaccines. She wore the face tampon mask of humiliation, even after the COVID lie was exposed to truth as a generational wealth transfer. She campaigned for kebab. She dyed her hair purple. She shaved her armpits and legs looking like a strange poodle. She hauled dogs in childcare seats riding through the wasteland in her AC mandate Prius, waging continuous war against her people's validity to advocate in the group Paladeck of experience as governance. Cinema Netflix was for her the reference point of all experience. She carried the portable cordless telephone wherever she went. She had enormous lips injected with Juvederm and Restylane. She thought she resembled a Kardashian African queen. Maybe she could get a BBL Brazilian butt lift, or maybe she could transition to male. Anything to neg other than who she was. She referred to AI in all things. She repeated an endless refrain of mantras. Mideast golden parachute, NATO, Ukraine, Biden, Trump, Putin, more war, must make more weapons, peace through war, war through peace, must abort children, more vaccines, more drugs, legalize marijuana, mushrooms. She drank enormous quantities of juice. She had orange stickers on her car and social media profiles. Everything was about the juice. Juice, juice, always the juice. She had a Japanese rising sun flag on her house because it resembled a giant orange and symbolized her worship of juice. She had 5 small tattoos below her bikini line, 3 on the left and 2 on the right, for her 5 abortions. She used to say, "I had 4 abortions before I was 20. You could have been 6. The Karen went through the transformative change that is duplicated in Genius World teaching wilder ways. She had been miraculously saved by her daughter the Rose. She now at an age in her 40s was miraculously made pregnant and carried within her the salvation child by a spirit identical to her own, that would be dedicated to us as a people. Where before she was addicted to hard drugs like genetically modified marijuana, biological neurotransmitter blocker antidepressants, alcohol, tobacco, nicotine bioerase vaping devices. Where before she listened to the deaf music programs of rap and hip-hop, now she gathered wild hops and the collective commune of biospirit experience. She sat with plants in the biospirit teaching of bioregional peace pilgrim folk first. She not only learned but she taught the genius method of bioregional herbalism.